True story. Dear Dad, it's funny because I always struggle with using that term, Dad. Because by definition, I never understood if that is what you were to me, Dad. But I used it. Year after year, I used it. Like every summer when I would go visit you and my Tulsa family, I would use it. Dad. See, I would be placed on a plane, and I remember wanting to spend time with you to understand what it felt like to be wrapped in your love and understanding like Big Mama, your mama, used to give to me. Dad, did you love me? Been wanting to ask you that question for years because occasionally I remember you picking me up in your big black truck and us traveling down old dusty roads, winding roads, barely talking, but still feeling a form and a sense of connection. Dad. Like a connection simply created because I was your son. And it wasn't just that I was your son, but damn it, I looked just like your ass. Skin that resembled the burnt rolls and dimples that I got from you and my mom. See, she would call my dimple on the right your dimple because, see, it wasn't as deep as the one on the left, which was hers. Dad. But I was your son. No denying, right? No denying me, right? Dad. No denying me, right? But you seem to work that out too, see, because I was left feeling denied. Denied the opportunity to ever get to know you. See, summer trips that turn out to be summers with Big Mama. A couple of nights here and there, but never truly connecting because you simply didn't know how to connect with me, to love me. I pray often as a man to have memories of you that goes beyond being left alone, but I look and I stare searching for you, only to find that you were nowhere to be found, and for that reason I felt denied. A little black boy left to conquer the big world all alone, to figure out the path to travel. I mean, my mom's, she did all that she could. She raised me, she reared me, she left me to be a man, all that she could. The man that you now smell and see, sometimes lost, often other times going down the winding road victoriously. Because of my mom's effort, I was left to be sane. Thank you, Mama. But back to you, Dad. And as I stand here reading this letter, every fiber of my being wants to hate you, but the healing elixir in me, this healing elixir in me, it grows deep, like the one that I chose to swallow with my pills of reality, only allows me to see you as another man. Not as my father, but a man. A man that was probably also hurt by his dad, never allowed to be loved by his dad, not protected from the pedophiles that molested and violated your soul, my soul. Dad, was that your path? Because I need you to help me make sense of this life that you live. Battled on a field of wounded, alone, left alone is how I see you. A man that never had a man, you well. A representation of what it meant to love his son, his only son, another man, and see that man is me. See, I cried for you as I cried for myself many nights and years. So today I want to do something that I must do for me. Today I'm going to remove the mask because I simply can't take it anymore. I'm removing this mask to save me from falling deep in a hole of uncertainty and disbelief. Because I know that I can rise higher than you allowed yourself to rise. Above the clouds I will glide because this mask will no longer hold me hostage. Yes, today I must break the generational cycle, and I must unrattle these heavily laden chains. See, because I can no longer allow your lack to be my lack, but instead, guess what? Your lack's going to become my gain.
All right.
I must grow, and I must be better than what you have allowed yourself to be. See, I must become me, because I owe that to myself. I owe it to my future daughter or son. Today I declare, written on the clouds up high, that I will be better.
Father, I've become short of breath running through your alternate reality. Your stipulations were too much for me, so I forfeited. I was an egg conferencing with the weight of a cinder block and on the verge of obliteration. My pretendings never loaned me favor or grace. I simply gave up. I was ill-prepared to submit to your terms and agreements, and I missed out on some things. I no longer walked with my chest out like you instructed me to, and the slight twist in my walk left much to the imagination of you and my uncles, who would alert my cousins to rough me up at family functions because I was becoming too soft. And being myself contraposed your ideas of masculinity, and in your eyes I was not growing up into the son you clairvoyantly envisioned. Falling short with the assistance of my feminine inconsistencies, I couldn't match your molds of tough exterior and the need to conquer. Things that I found joy in were labeled as shortcomings, and I have apologized for not running down a grassy field with pigskin in my mitts and sprinting around the straight legs and curves of an astroturf circle. And if I were doing it, it would be to appease and achieve validation. And damn, I want you to love me. Or at least want me as your son. You see, I crave your support like a junkie craves another high. My errors, weaknesses that I've become prone to never work in my best interest. It's like I'm not blaming you or making excuses for myself. I just haven't come to clear conclusions as to why I'm working so hard for you to love me. You're my father, I thought that was included in the package. Or was it because I latched onto my mother emotionally weaned? Emotions were feeble by your definition, followed by your subtle contractions, grabbing me by the ankle, latching onto me, painting me to feel compelled by your teachings, revolving around inaccuracy, comprised of jagged, misshapen ideas, concepts that fail to include handle with care. To be fragile is to be a faggot. But I woke up today. Finally, I stopped asking questions. And my ideals of you have slowly faded. They're out there somewhere. My dreams of you no longer exist because it's a double shift working for you. And it makes me tired. It makes me an advocate of fatigue and isolated. Seeking peace, I'll close my eyes. Drift. Maybe I'll keep a steady pace this time. Hopefully that suffices.
Dear Pops, I'm not sure where to begin or even if the purpose of writing this. See, I know it won't change the past, and honestly, I'm not sure what effect the hold it still has on my presence, but Pops, I feel compelled to say it as if my spirit can no longer handle the hurt that was placed in my identity years ago and is now spazzing to expel it. See, you were the product of a broken home with broken parents, which hindered me from fully developing. I was damaged goods. But you raised me to be a man. Unfortunately, it was the same man you were trying not to be. See, society says that a child is good when the father is present, but what happens when they are there physically and emotionally, he's absent? What does society say about that? See, I appreciated the gifts and the allowances, but what I needed was the advice, the validation. I needed you to be more than what you were capable of being, And Pops, where you fell short, Mommy tried desperately to pick up your slack. I was tossed from one parent to the other, bouncing back and forth like a tennis ball surrendering to the volleys of the players. Serve. I'm whispering sweet empty promises in her ear, like you taught me. Return. Mom swings with all her might, and I remember how her unmet expectations of you left her depressed like a junkie looking for another fix. She begged and pleaded for another hit from you, only to be met with silence and distance. With a powerful forehand, you return, and I'm loving her like you taught me to. She is my means to an end of consistency, and I teach her how to love me broken and incomplete. Too many partners to count, too many names to remember. Little black book, too full to contain the secrets of a little boy trapped between the love given by a mother to compensate for the negligence of a father. Bed to bed, home to home, wearing the filth of yesterday, too caked on to wash off. I reenact all that you've shown me. See, I'm not the man that they think I am. I am the man my father raised me to be. Too hard to care, but too fragile to be cared for. And in all that you didn't give me, and in all that she couldn't compensate for, I find in him. He loves me like I wanted you to. He holds me the way you stopped. I've become his daddy's little girl, and I assume the role. See, you taught me how to be a woman's king, to rule her through the weakness of her emotions, but you also taught me male codependency. And I'm stuck in the in-between. See, he's your doppelganger, and he picks up your slack, but she pays for it. And every time he loves me, it hurts her, but hurt people, so I paint myself in pain without a warning label. I stain those close to me, much like I was stained as your child. Touched in places I hadn't discovered, they planted in my child seeds that contaminated all that I was. My harvest killed before it could grow. See, their seeds devoured mine, and I tried to tell the only person I knew who could protect me, but you listened with a deaf ear, and you opened blind eyes. Numb to touch, you refused to wake me from this nightmare so that you could continue living in your dream. I would have rather lived in foster care, used as a financial crutch, or in a home with brothers that bullied my spirit and molested my soul than to live with you. I would rather have never known love than to have mistaken it for the disappointment and distress that you showed me. So where do little black boys go when they need protection and dad's not around? What happens when the validation of your masculinity is lost in the torture and extraction of your manhood? When dad's not around, who restores it? But I guess I should thank you. Thank you for teaching me how to see the worst in people's best, and the best in distorted reflections lurking in broken mirrors. Thank you for teaching me the power of manipulation and inconsistency. Always keep them guessing, right, Pops? And when all else fails, just turn the table. See, deception was my best friend, so as I lay here in my bed of lies, covered in uncertainty, I wonder who I should blame. You for tucking me in, or me for laying there? The bed widens and the sheets tighten. Lights dim and blurred visions. Nightmare dance over my heads, and I reflected my demons onto the ceilings. But they're not my demons, they're yours. And they're your nightmares. And I watch as they devour my dreams one by one, like snakes burying their way into my heart. They feast on my desires and my potential, and now the only thing that remains is impossibility. Impossible to love, impossible to feel, impossible to see, impossible to dream again. That's why I have to write this. I feel compelled to let you know that on my quest to discover my true identity, not only do I have to remove my mask, but I have to take yours off as well. I understand you did the best that you could, but sometimes, Pops, even our best isn't good enough. So you don't get an E for effort, you get an F for failure, because I'm fucked up and it's your fault, Pops. I loved you. And I allowed you for so long to just be you, flaws and all. I Saw past the shortcomings and only reflected on the good times, but the masquerade is ended and it's time to remove our masks. I see you for the man that you are, damaged, you're hurt, deserted, and lost. And you want to be better, but you don't know how. And every part of me wants to love you just the way you are, but it hurts me too much to do so. So with a broken bow and a dull arrow, I shoot for my star and release it from the darkness that has gripped it for so long. See, because wishing on so many never seemed to grant me any, so I pull this one close to me and I wish, and I wish, and I wish, because I just need this one wish. To live in an identity of my own as opposed to the one that was shown. I love you, Pops, but I'm breaking free to gaze upon the beautiful being, the Creator. My Creator has birthed and I'm falling in love with me. Not the son you raised me to be or the man you made me. I'm reclaiming all power that was stripped from me. God is restoring and returning unto me all that was taken. I love you, Pops, but I'm no longer scared to profess my passions of love and life and prosperity. Long gone are the days of being that little boy trapped behind your deteriorating flesh and twisted bones. You no longer have power over me. They no longer have power over me. While my name is John Albert Nicklos II, named after a man who tried with desperation to build a man with broken tools. Lil John, a reflection of your failures, John Boy. The reality of a man trapped in the horrors of his past. I love you, Pops, but I'm releasing myself of my resemblance to you, looking only to my future. My name is majestic. My name is strong. My name is worthy. My name is powerful, and I have the power to choose, and I choose life. I choose liberty. I choose love for me, to love me.